Hey guys, welcome to AlltimeGaming. I'm Chris.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Alex.
And what could be more important to a game than the plot?
The gameplay?
Graphics?
Yeah, no, nothing. That's what. Which is why it's a shame that so many games get their narratives just completely wrong.
So here are 6 examples of games with really, really stupid plots.
Pretty good games though, but yeah, stupid plots.
Narrative is certainly not one of Call of Duty's strong points.
Nah.
Any game that can have Captain Price meditate on the transient nature of self-determinism for 2 minutes probably blew all its budget on making the explosions 10% bigger.
Big words, Jamie.
Thank you. Although, making those explosions 10% bigger is not necessarily a bad thing. Explosions are good.
Get out now!
Modern Warfare 2, for example, is a fantastically relaxing game when you feel the need to relieve some tension by wasting a few hundred virtual soldiers. However, Shakespeare, it most certainly isn't. In the mission No Russian, the premise is set up that because the body left behind by Makarov is American and the bullets are from a Brazilian arms trader, Russia clamours for war with the West. That's already a bit of a stretch, to be honest, but that's not the part that pokes a hole in the plot. Firstly, how do they know the body left behind is American? It's not like he has a fucking bald eagle tattooed on his forehead.
American flag underpants.
And short of a DNA test, it's not that easy to tell the difference. Okay, granted, no one spoke any Russian, but the English was heavily accented, and I'm pretty sure people were too busy fleeing for their lives to make a positive ID.
Yeah.
As well as this, it is clearly established that Makarov is an internationally known terrorist. His warnings of a terrorist attack are in the papers, for God's sake. Security authorities have his MO and his face on file, even Shepard makes reference to this. Yet apparently Makarov can march through a Russian airport without anything covering his face in full view of CCTV cameras and no one suspects anything. I mean, did nobody maybe check the CCTV? Like, oh yeah, that's that internationally known Russian terrorist? What about the other Russian who was gunned down while confronting the FSB? So many questions that Russia apparently overlooked in their eagerness for kicking the shit out of America.
Yes, Jamie, the Arkham series gave us gamers the opportunity to fully realize our Batman disgusting fantasies.
They did.
Harley Quinn involved. Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
And Catwoman.
Always involved. So the opportunity to stalk armed goons from the shadows before executing the perfect takedown with an array of gadgets was markedly different from the rash of boring, brown-grey shooters of the time. Now, superhero comics are renowned for their deep plots and character motivations, but Batman Arkham City took that concept as a whole and threw it out the window. Right at the beginning of the game, we're introduced to Bruce Wayne, you know the story by now, billionaire by day, crime puncher by night. Well, he was bundled off by henchmen working for Hugo Strange, villain and professional bastard. The twist is that Strange knows Wayne's secret identity. One of Batman's greatest assets is the fact that no one knows who he is. So for a villain to openly announce they know who he is presents a whole new danger.
Capturing Bruce Wayne is so much easier than Batman. And now that we have you, Protocol 10 is ready to begin.
Unfortunately, it also raises a few more questions. For one, why the fuck has Strange decided to lock up the one man who can stop him in the same area Strange is operating in? Now, there are a few rough allusions to wanting to break Batman, and I agree that capturing Bruce Wayne is easier than capturing Batman, but Strange, he must have seen Batman in action. He knows what he's capable of. This is a man that has air support and substantial martial arts training. A few goons aren't going to stop Wayne from reaching an area where he could clearly tool up and kick ass. But yeah, what did Strange expect? Did he want to kill Batman with Protocol 10? Surely it would be easier to send a hit squad, not the Suicide Squad, when he's out and about as Wayne. No armor, cameras everywhere. Or burn his house down. Or blow up Wayne Tower. Or, as we said, shoot him in the face. If you know his identity, announce it to the world and neutralize the threat. Don't confine him to your precise area of operation. It makes fucking literally zero sense.
Should have just shot him in the face.
Well, except if Strange wanted to gloat. He is a prick after all.
Great beard, though.
Not a bad beard, a little bit too Amish for my tastes.
It is a bit Amish.
Crytek know how to make a gorgeous looking game. In fact, almost the entire Crysis series was sold on the fact that it could, potentially, melt your computer through sheer processing power and loveliness. So perhaps we can forgive them a little when they let a glaring issue slip through the net in the story of Crysis 2. In the first game, North Korea invade a small island that also happens to be inhabited by aliens hell-bent on eradicating humanity.
Oh man, such a coincidence.
The Navy respond, it seems, in the only way they can and try to nuke the ever-living shit out of them, which is what you would do.
Yeah.
Despite warnings that this could backfire. The bombing then predictably backfires, as the aliens can absorb nuclear energy. In Crisis 2, however, the military demonstrate their astounding ability to completely forget the lessons of the past by ordering a second nuclear strike on New York to destroy the alien infestation. Conveniently, the mistakes of the first game are ignored, and the failed nuclear strike is never brought up again. This is a massive plot hole in the game, as the tactical nuclear strike spurs literally the entire endgame of Crisis 2. Either the aliens are resistant to nuclear force or not. Either the American military is terminally stupid or desperately suicidal. Which is it, Crytek?
Dickheads are in no short supply in Max Payne 3. In fact, by the end of the game, I kind of just wanted to abandon everyone in that game, even the people who are dying in those weird tyre fires.
What, those innocents, Jamie? You wanted to abandon them?
I'm Max Payne 3. I'm a bald-headed dude in a Hawaiian shirt. I do what I want. However, the nature of the game demanded that I press on and rescue a rich wife and associates from the clutches of a ruthless Brazilian street gang. Only, and I think it's worth saying that there are spoilers here, that's not entirely what's going on.
Yeah.
It transpires that Max was actually hired to be the fall guy for a series of illicit dealings that would see the brother of his employer inherit a shit ton of wealth, which I believe is the correct term for a large sum of money.
A metric shit ton.
This naturally raises a number of questions. First among them is, why would you hire an alcoholic but clearly experienced and capable cop from the United States to be your patsy when any street thug from the favelas of Sao Paulo would have been fine? You didn't need Max Payne. Think about it. If you're going to blame a Brazilian gang for the kidnap and death of your close family, surely it would make more sense for the fall guy to be someone with even the remotest connection to said favela. This is in addition to the fact that a street tough hired as a bodyguard is unlikely to be a titan of combat, as his friends appear to be able to be beaten by a drunk, drugged out on painkillers and clinical depression.
Who can slow down time?
It just seems needlessly convoluted and risky when he could have been replaced with literally any other Brazilian. I mean, seriously, Passos and Victor, get your shit together.
Could have been just Neymar.
Oh, very funny. There is actually a fictional Brazilian footballer in the game who gets killed in a nightclub.
Well, from the new world to the old. Ancient Rome, to be precise, the Eternal City. Rise, Son of Rome was an ambitious project by Crytek that was held up by Microsoft as one of the reasons to come home with the Xbox One. It was insanely pretty, with every filth-encrusted Briton and every ripple in protagonist Marius's little skirtlet beautifully rendered. However, looking past the amazing graphics was a mediocre hack and slasher with a simple plot about vengeance. It's not the vengeance bit that was silly though, it's how it was set up. You see, Marius's family was murdered by barbarians brought to Rome by Nero to exterminate his political rivals.
No!
I'm not even spoiling anything for you here. I mean, that's just fucking history. It was signposted about an hour before the grand reveal and surprised absolutely no one. Thing is though, why barbarians?
Because they're tough, and they carry clubs.
I mean, sure, but hiring a Roman assassin would be far more efficient, no? Nero wasn't known for his tact, so why hiring an army to attack Rome instead of, a cheaper assassin? That would be more sensible to me. For that matter, these barbarians are British.
It's because we're tough with clubs and dirty.
Well, you see, you'd have had to bring them all through Gaul. And you're telling me that at no point did anyone in Rome know about this? They have fucking elephants! That's pretty hard to hide. I mean, elephants are not fucking native to Britain, which means they would have had to have been shipped to them. Again, all this expense when a knife in the dark would have been a whole lot easier. I mean, why is Boudica here? She never left Britain. Who the fuck is Oswald? So fucking stupid. Either Nero is the most incompetent tyrant in the world, or everyone in the Empire has been drinking from the lead water pipes once more.
Let's face it though, lead pipes would probably be a luxury in Fallout 3. In 2077, America takes part in a brief 2-hour nuclear exchange which turns the US, and presumably the rest of the world, into a Mad Max film populated with leather fetishists and super mutants. However, there are those out there who did not succumb to nuclear disintegration. Those who took refuge in the many Vault-Tec vaults dotted across the continent were spared the worst effects of the war, and for the residents of Vault 101, survived in relative comfort. However, as far as Fallout 3 shows, there are still many problems to confront out there in the capital wasteland. Right at the end of the game, your character is presented with a choice. Enter an irradiated chamber and save the wasteland but die a horrible, horrible death, or let your companion do it and have her die a horrible, horrible death.
Seems easy to me.
Yeah, send her in. This is despite the fact that for some of us, we had Forks, the super mutant, with us. And as we all know, super mutants are immune to radiation, given the fact that they're so fucked up already. He'd even displayed his power before when he went to retrieve the Gek for you. But Forks refuses to walk into the radioactive chamber because this can only be done by you. This is your father's project. Bullshit. What a massive malformed testicle. I'm pretty sure my dad would want me to live. So a creature who has a demonstrable ability to withstand death refuses to accept it because it's my destiny. To be fair, the Broken Steel DLC patches this, but it still doesn't quite distract from the original moment, pre-DLC, when you sat staring blank-eyed at Forks, being a massive dick. So those were just 6 examples of great games with plot holes you could ram a bus through. Do you disagree? Are we just nitpicking? Let us know in the comments below.
Well, yes, Jonesy, in Fallout 3, Forks was a bit of a shit sidekick for not doing that. But here, on screen right now, is our list of the 6 best sidekicks ever that you kind of want to go for beers with and go to a strip club and just be like, woo, baby!
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
See ya.